north, stings the corner. You know it's coming. You still can't stop it.
What's up, everybody? We are back with the Lacrosse Rundown. It's Charlotte North and it's ESPN's Jay Alter. It's Tuesday night and it's 8 o'clock. And this week we have a very special episode for you guys. A special tandem duo guests joining the show. And that is Coach Christine Halfpenny and Mckenna Davis at Notre Dame. McKenna Davis just joined the staff, and head coach Christine Halfpenny is joining us as well to chat all things Notre Dame and preview what's going on for their team for this upcoming season.
We are so happy to be checking in with South Bend, Notre Dame, the head coach, Chris Halfpenny, and new assistant coach, McKenna Davis. And let's just start there. McKenna, I mean, I feel like I'm getting ready to call your name still. You're just off the playing field. What made you want to go right into coaching? And Coach Halfpenny, what makes McKenna such a good fit at Notre Dame?
Yeah. So, playing for 4 years and playing competitively my whole life and like having a dad who has always coached me when I was little, I feel like coaching was just like in my nature for so long. And I really wanted to stay connected to the game for as long as possible. So being able to go right into coaching, I'm very grateful for this opportunity that Notre Dame has given me so I can stay attached to the game and stay involved because I love it so much. And, this was just the right opportunity for me just to keep, learning about the game, growing the game, and then now getting to, teach players the way that I've been taught for so long, and it's been really great. I'm just so grateful to be here.
So fun to hear McKenna talk about her journey to get here. I think likewise, something that we're always looking for as coaches and, new additions to our staff members. One, can you teach? Can you teach the game? And to what McKenna spoke about, I think that everyone saw that this summer. McKenna was already out there teaching at Best in Class. She was at IL Women Experiences. She was doing, and has her own LLC. She has her own business. McKenna has been teaching throughout the course of college, which I think is a hand in hand. Like when players are also teaching, it's a different perspective of the way they look at the game. And so I think that it elevates players when they're continuing to give back and coaching the youth. But also, something that McKenna talked about with me was like, I've always wanted to coach. Like, I love this sport. Like, she's a lax rat. It is so much fun. It's so awesome. And what makes her a great fit for us in complementing what we already have on staff is her vision. Her vision for the game as a prolific feeder is fantastic. And then, like I said, since this isn't her first outing being on the field in coach role with a whistle, hat, stick on her hip, and jumping back in there and showing. She's been doing this for a long time. And she's wildly coachable, but our goal in adding someone to our staff was, hey, you just played the modern game. You have national championship experience. You have ACC championship experience. You're a 3-time All-American, and you played under a regime that knows nothing else other than Final Four weekend. To end any time earlier than that is not a success in her book. And that is our vision. That is our trajectory at Notre Dame, is to get to Final Four weekend. The stars will align, we'll stay healthy, and we're going to bring home a championship here. And so we wanted some more of that pedigree on our staff.
That is so awesome, McKenna. It's so cool to see you be in these shoes right now. I know you had such a great leadership style while you were a player. So everything that Coach Halfpenny's talking about, I mean, it's unbelievable. I saw it firsthand, and I'm so proud of you for stepping into this role and getting to influence these girls. They're very lucky to have you as a coach. But you guys are about to wrap up your fall ball season. So what have you guys learned from scrimmages you've had and practices, and how excited are you guys for the spring?
Go ahead.
I mean, we're so excited. Our team's definitely on the younger side of it. We have a really, really talented freshman class that's here. So being able to bring them in and work with them has been super special. And we have one more fall ball game that we're super excited for. And just coming off a fall break, a good reset for the girls. Now being able to wrap up with one more game. I mean, we feel very excited to get to see them. And I've loved seeing the girls develop throughout the fall. So I think so far, I've been very impressed with the way the team has been working this fall.
Yeah. We actually have a later fall ball. We kind of kick things back. We get our 20 hours going at the end of September so that we go all the way to the middle of November. So our last fall ball game will actually be against Northwestern, which, being only 3 months out from the actual whistle blowing, on February 6th with the first draw, it does start to feel like one regional rivalry with Northwestern anyways. It feels like a real game. We play a full game, stop clock, all that good stuff. So we have 2 weeks until that final outing. We have 11 full practices left until we're done at the beginning of December. But I would say, there's a lot of excitement and enthusiasm, but there's a lot of drive on this team. We're returning a huge amount of players that gained needed experience last year. Last year, obviously, like we were playing really hard, but we were up on the short end of the stick on those one goal games. And that's not lost on our returners whatsoever. To McKenna's point, we've added this unbelievable freshman class that is not just stepping in to learn, they're stepping in to impact. So far this fall, it's been fun. I mean, we played full games. We got the opportunity to play against Louisville, Ohio State, then Marquette, Michigan, and most recently Maryland last Monday. And I really like where we're at. I think that we're very competitive. We're just trying to work out a lot of kinks right now and get that chemistry flowing with all of these new faces. Because again, like we might look young in years, but I can tell you right now, we don't look young in experience anymore.
Yeah, and you've helped set that standard, right? When you talk about Notre Dame lacrosse coach, and you talk about getting to a Final Four and winning a national championship and winning an ACC championship, and sometimes you have to go backwards so you can go forwards. And I think that was last season, right? Failing to make the ACC tournament, well below the standard that you helped set. So to hear you talk about how encouraging the fall has been, the offseason has been, I'm curious from your perspective, when you kind of dug it last year and kind of did the post season, where did things go wrong for us? What did you learn from last year that's eventually going to end up being the puzzle pieces that get you to the Final Four and holding those trophies?
Yeah, I think that with a brand new team, right, from what everyone saw in 23, 24, with all the players that truly were in there, like it was like going from, crawling to like having to sprint. I think that where we were able to stay competitive, I think that we were an incredibly dangerous team throughout the course of that regular season, where people were like, man, if it all comes together, like they're going to get over the hump. I think that the absence of winning a big game, not being able to come away with that Syracuse win, not being able to come away with that Stanford win, not getting a top 10 win last year or top 15, that really stunted the quote unquote belief that you need. Like, what comes first, winning or confidence? And we talk about it all the time. Confidence actually should supersede winning. It kind of must. And that comes into the time that you put into your game individually and collectively, the time you spend with your teammates to make sure that you get the end result that you want, that you're doing what you need to do so that the result does take care of itself. And I think when we peeled the onion back, right, one, the pain of having a season end so early, where that was a space no one had ever been in our program, including me. I'm like, I can't really remember ever, even in my playing days, being done that early. You have an opportunity to peel the onion back, look at all the practice plans, also be realistic. We had injuries that held us back. Nobody wants to use that as an excuse, but we did. And those hurt us. Madison Rass is out for the final 3 games. That absolutely hurt us. She's a 3-goal swing either way, and that's on the low end. I really think she's a 5-point swing, I should say. But, I think we looked at how we have to continue to lean into relationships, one-to-one relationships and collective unit relationships, how we have to lean into empowering our players to be their absolute best all the time, and that we have to challenge them a little bit more in training. In our practices, like, were we challenging those clutch end of play moments? Because we left a lot on the floor last year. Like, we did have the ball in power play situations. We did have the ball at the end of the game. So we've just been leaning into things like that. We're really empowering them, helping them stay very organized so that they can play freely.
That's awesome. The quick pivot, because a lot is being talked about NIL, the landscape of college sports on the whole, not just lacrosse. But I'm curious for you guys and for lacrosse at Notre Dame, how have you seen the landscape change, and how are you guys handling all of it? And how is it impacting, maybe in your eyes, our sport on the whole as well?
Yeah, I think the last 2 recruiting cycles, we really saw that start to come in play, specifically probably this past fall, right? I think that with the additional support to women's lacrosse, so I'm going to talk about what we do get before, we go down that road. Right. But I think that when you see the support that's coming out, Notre Dame is supporting women's lacrosse. We have gotten more scholarships. Our where we used to be at 12, we are getting more every year in the next 3 years. So that's been something that really does help in the recruiting process so that things can be a bit more equal. But the reality is, there isn't equality out there anymore. You have programs within our conference that are giving in upwards of 35 full scholarships. And then you have programs that won't get more than 12. So there's a disparity there and you have to use that to your advantage. I think that that's been the first thing. The second thing is that name, image, and likeness, and then some schools maybe are giving rev share. Others are saying, no, it's just going to be name, image, and likeness. Those are different things. We've been fortunate to have a little bit of both there, a little bit of both sport in that scholarship and then also that name, image, and likeness. What I'm really encouraged about is where Notre Dame sits in the grand scheme of all things. We have an outstanding athletic department. We have a brand that is second to none. We're in the top 10 of all athletic brands. So when our recruits are saying Notre Dame is it, I'm like, imagine what you can do with your name plus Notre Dame. That brand is going to go far. And then, of course, once you graduate and you're done with Notre Dame lacrosse, I think case in point, Charlotte, you had some of our Notre Dame girls win the championship in February with you. Listen, they if they wanted to stay in lacrosse, they would have, but they're up in New York City and they're on Wall Street and they're working NBC and they're working with those big firms, but they're still playing pro because they leaned into their brand while they were here. So I feel like when you come to Notre Dame, it's obviously you're going to give us something, but we're going to give you a lot back. I mean, even with McKenna, I'm like, McKenna, you have your own LLC and now you have Notre Dame and Boston College. Like that's something that is just, we know that's an advantage that we have. But it does make for a crazy recruiting cycle. I can tell you are equal. All coaches don't run the business the same way. There's deadlines. There's not. That's a conversation for another time. Probably some recruiting outlet wants to talk about that. But
well, I want to touch on the Boston guard overlap that you alluded to in just a second. But looking at the ACC and like McKenna, you just played in it. It's already difficult when you had North Carolina, Duke, Virginia, Syracuse, Boston College, Notre Dame. Now you add in a Clemson and a Florida State that are dumping a lot of resources into it, exactly what Charlotte was just talking about. It is such a competitive league. And like if you have a year like you did last year, Coach, where you have those injuries, like it's unforgiving. McKenna, I guess, what are you going to take from playing in this league, in this evolving landscape, and add it to where you can succeed on the field in such a difficult conference?
Yeah, I mean, playing in the conference, ACC, it's super competitive. Coaching in it, it's also competitive. And, with all this great NIL stuff, all the resources at these other schools, I think being able to stay grounded and understand that, like, we are just instilling belief in our players regardless of any new facility or, like, what else is going on outside that is out of our control. It doesn't matter to our girls what's going on at a different ACC school as long as we're showing up on game time and we're there to compete, regardless of what's going on out there. I think being able to instill that in the players so they're not getting so caught up in, oh, I saw this on social media, like that's so cool. Or I'm like, being able to separate that for the players is going to be really important because being a player, and like I see that, just coming off of a season, like you can see all these really cool opportunities at other places, but we're at Notre Dame for a reason and we're here because of like what Notre Dame can offer. So I think being able to just keep reminding the girls, like, we're here for a reason and keeping them grounded and not letting the big grand scheme of things, like not let that get too, clouded in their judgment of, we're here to play lacrosse. And that's what it is at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm. Have you been to a Notre Dame football game yet, McKenna?
I've been to all the home games.
Let's go.
They're amazing.
I have a quick question, McKenna. When Boston College plays Notre Dame in football in a short week, are you going to wear a half Notre Dame, half BC, like a little split jersey?
I'm honestly not sure. I will be at the game. I'll be in Boston, but I just hope both teams have fun at the end of the day.
That's a good follow up to that.
That is a good answer.
That's a great answer.
She knows who signs her paychecks, but she doesn't get here. And that's a hard one. Like, you got to remember, I'm a Hokie, and like I went to the national. I was there when Beamer Ball in the national championship, and I think that was part of my experience. And our team won the A10 conference in that year, where all the teams were winning. And I say that to McKenna all the time, where she's like, it's going to be nothing BC. And I'm being, that was an interview. She's like, if I get this job, like, and I'm like, hey, like BC got you here. Just like, always remember your roots.
Totally.
Always remember your roots. So
I love that.
Yeah.
Coach Halfpenny, I mean, she's new on the job and she's mastering coach speak. You got to walk that line, right? I mean, this is good.
Oh.
We slayed it. We knew we wanted McKenna here. Our staff actually is like Northeast heavy. McKenna and I do call myself from upstate, which I know this is going to make everyone from Syracuse and Rochester cringe, because Albany, but
I would consider that upstate. I mean, I'm from Texas, but I would consider that away from New York City, and it's not Long Island. So
exactly, it's up there. So there's things that we just have in common, albeit I think that I'm almost old enough to be McKenna's mom at this point. That is a different thing in the coaching ranks for me, where I'm like, how did I get here? But at the end of the day, it's awesome when you have a staff that just played the modern game and they keep you young. And then you have these other commonalities, like upstate people. There's like some similar things, or we'll say something and we're like, yeah, obviously that's upstate. That's what we say. Like, so it's just been a lot of fun.
I mean, look, the couch that you guys are sitting on embodies the Irish Eagle camaraderie that was formed in February. Coach, you mentioned it a couple minutes ago with the Boston Guard winning the championship with this blended Notre Dame BC team. And you go from the fiercest rivals. I mean, in all the games I've called, some of those BC Notre Dame battles in the postseason are the most memorable, to now teammates and winning a championship together. And Chris, I know we were texting during that championship run, and you're like, this is amazing. This is amazing to see BC and Notre Dame come together and win a championship. And now that McKenna joins the staff, like, this is a little too much cohesion between these two programs.
Listen, when the whistle blows and we're going against each other, there is like no love lost in that, 60 minutes. But no, I think it's really awesome. I think when you look at our two schools, obviously there's a lot of similar like-minded values. There's alignment in education in the background of our schools. We've got the Holy War going on, but at the same time, like, there was a lot of cross recruiting. So within even our players, like, there's a lot of friendships, very close friendships. And when they play, they're both out for blood, in the best of ways. I'm using that,
yes.
in my metaphors. But I think the other piece too, where we see what happened in the WLL and in the Boston Guard and coming together, I think that's been something fun, because honestly, McKenna jumps in and plays in practice often, which is great, because it's again, that modern game was their like prolific feeder, really teaching not just that lefty low pocket, and not just our low players how to develop that offense and how to see the second layer and things like that. But she's actually jumping in so they can see how it goes too. Well, I chuckle every time, because our returning defenders from the last two seasons, McKenna jumps in, we're in our zone, and the next thing you know, I see like Abby Lyons and Julia like smothering McKenna, McKenna's like walking the dog, and all these things are happening. I'm like, oh my God, it's like flashback. And on top of that, some of the alumni that were your teammates, Charlotte, were like, we can't believe McKenna came here. Our team talked some smack in that to McKenna, and I was like, you guys did? And they're like, Chris, like, come on,
It happens.
Gamesmanship. And gamesmanship. She's so kind. It really only took like a couple of days where, immediately our team was really excited. Adding McKenna, they know her game. Frankly, like, I think that the attitude she brings, like the swagger, they were like, yeah, giddy up, let's go. Bring it to our side. Like, if you want to be the best, then you have to play the best, but you bring the best to Notre Dame, recruiting, staff, all of that. Like, hey, let's impart our wisdom. I have great respect for who has coached McKenna, when she has been under that tutelage, not just, it starts at Monsters Lacrosse and then it goes all the way to BC, and where she's had the opportunity to also be wearing the red, white, and blue through those experiences. I'm like, you've been under unbelievable coaches. And I think that whole body of work is what I see in the infancy of McKenna's, frankly, rising star coaching career. And it's fun for our team to respect that. Their burning question for McKenna was, what did you hate most about playing Notre Dame? She was
what was the answer? What was the answer?
You didn't miss a beat. What was your answer?
It was the zone defense.
I knew it. I could.
Zone. It's so difficult.
And I was like, yeah, you didn't last year. But, I think that, for our team, it's like that also, like, you think about hearing, and your foe, like your nemesis say, like, I hate, that's a compliment. That's a compliment. And so I think that once we like broke that ice right away and there was that mutual respect, and then McKenna was like, now I'm here to help you. Like, I'm here to, I'm with you. Like, let's do this. So that's been really fun.
No better way to
That's
learn
great.
for a defense if McKenna's hopping in there and showing them firsthand. That's amazing. But back to the Boston Guard team. I was so lucky to be teammates with those Notre Dame girls. And you mentioned the friendships off the field. Like, you can see the culture that you've set, Coach Halfpenny, that comes to life even off the field for them and in new environments like the WLL with a different coaching staff and in a new locker room with teammates you may have never played with. But I mean, those girls, they can do it all, and they care the most about their connection with their teammates and winning and doing it the right way. So it was an honor to be their teammate, and I hope we get more opportunities to do that. It was some more Notre Dame girls. Hopefully the current players are aspiring to continue to play even longer than, their days in college, but really, really special.
Yeah, it's fun. Charlotte, my first question was like, what is it like to play with Charlotte? I mean, because, I'm geeking out here. Like, I'm like, this is so fun to see our sport get to this point in the pro league and the opportunities to keep playing, and I hope they keep miking you up too. I was like getting a kick in the championship game where you're like, and get out of that spot. And I'm like, oh my God, I love this. Like, I love it so much. And it's like, and you come back. And they like, I'm looking at my girls, like they'll always be my girls. And I see them be like, yep,
Yeah.
Like, the response is my thing. Like, I'm like,
it's amazing.
They're like, how many got it's did you get from those girls? If you were giving a directive or
yes.
or whoever, it was like, I'm still called DeLuca, sorry.
Yeah.
Like a directive, they're like, got it. Like, they're like locking in, and it is kind of part of who we are. But it was just fun. It was fun to see that all play out.
So awesome. Yeah. My favorite story.
That's our goal.
What'd you say?
More Irish in the pros. That's
I like it. My favorite story from that couple of weeks together was when Jackie Wolak got busted in the lip.
Oh yeah.
It splits open. She should have gotten stitches, but she ended up getting it fixed, but didn't realize the magnitude of what the damage was. She gets taped, and it looked great, but she comes right back out on the field and was like, I'm ready to go. I'm like, Jackie, what? She was like, yeah, give me the ball. I'm like, all right, they're not sliding to you. Let's go to Jackie. Let's go. And she had like 3 goals or something. I don't know. After that, it was honestly unbelievable. But all those girls, killer instinct, but the best teammates, and so fun to be around.
That's fun. That's great. Love to hear it.
And McKenna, we're hoping that with the summer season, there's an opportunity for you to join the WLL. I know Champ Series would be difficult with this new exciting coaching opportunity, but with the summer series, and look, Charlotte hates when I do this. I'm not tampering. Don't get mad at me, Rachel DeCecco. But I would think McKenna's got to be on the Boston Guard because she embodies this Notre Dame BC connection. So
I would love to. That would be incredible. I mean, just to see like what Charlotte has done, is amazing. But like just like the sport itself, being able to grow and play and compete at such a high level, like continuing. I mean, it's so great, and it's so great for the sport and so great for the brand and great for like the girls upcoming and through. And it would be something very cool to be a part of.
Yeah, and no tampering here, but
no tampering, but
hey, people that are making decisions, she still got it. Just you sure you don't have any eligibility left? Yeah, no, it's fun to watch McKenna, and I look around, I'm like, yeah, lace up your cleats, jump in. I mean, jump in whenever you want. It's elevating our team too, So we hope there is opportunity, and we support that. fully.
And one of my dreams is to get you, Coach Halfpenny, with a headset on at some point, because you will be must-see TV.
Oh
That's part
gosh,
of the reason why I wanted to do this interview, because when you
no
get
doubt.
going, there's nobody like you giving takes on the sport of lacrosse.
We got to do
So,
like a Manning cast, like for
yes,
the WLL
yes.
games, but with Coach Halfpenny.
Yes. Okay, we'll do halftime with Halfpenny. That would be,
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm here for it, you guys. I don't know. My head is in the weeds right now with getting our zone to be tightened up a little bit, getting our ball movement to go a little bit faster, and getting more biscuits in the basket right now. But
Yeah.
we're excited, and yeah, I am here for it. Give a call, but hopefully I'll be so busy I can't do that until the summer.
Oh yeah.
We're
Not
looking
till the
forward to
summer.
the spring. We are looking forward to the spring. Thank you so much for the insight, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you both so much.
Guys.
Thank you. Great seeing you. Take care.
That was amazing. Thank you so much to Christine Halfpenny and McKenna Davis, coaches at Notre Dame, for coming on the show today. It was a pleasure to get to hear their perspective, get to hear what's going on over in South Bend, what they've learned this fall, and how excited they are for the spring. If you guys have any questions or any guests that you want to see on this show, make sure before you exit out of this video, you subscribe to the channel, you like this video, and then you drop in the comment section any questions you guys have, any topics you want us to cover, or any guests that you guys want to see. We have awesome guests lined up, continuing to line up throughout the rest of the fall into the winter. This was an awesome episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll catch you next week.